Hello, thanks for joining me today. This is Keisha with Crafty Sweet, and today I am going to be demonstrating 4 cards using this cute stamp set by Stampin Up. It's called Cute Fruit, and I'm going to be using just a few colors of ink pads today, all of which are from our ink colors. Well, all but 2. So we're going to be using Bumblebee Ink, Misty Moonlight, Magenta Madness, and then Granny Apple Green from our Brights collection, and then of course Memento Black Ink, because I'm going to be working with some Stampin' Blends for some of the images on the cards. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, and let me show you the cards that we're going to make. Today we're going to do 3 cards and then a 3D project. So we're going to make this 3D project using the Celebrate Labels dies. We're going to be making this card. This one, I think we will start off with this one first because this is the most simple, easy card. And then we're going to end with this one and then do our 3D project. Okay, so I hope you guys stick with me. This tutorial is going to include everything that you need to make these projects except for the stamp set and then of course the ink pads that we'll be using. But in your make and take packet, you're going to receive the die cut label, you're going to receive the ribbon, you're not going to receive the Stampin' Blend. I'm going to use a Stampin' Blend to color this in Granny Apple Green. But all of the consumable products you will be receiving in your kit, including the elegant faceted gems that I'm using on the card, as well as the ribbon. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I think we're going to start off with the simple card. So your make and take is going to come like this in this envelope. I may even just fold down the card bases for you, and then you'll have access to this video, and then I'll include a PDF of the make and take. All right, so let's pull all of our goodies out of the bag, and we're gonna start off with this one. All right, so this is a standard size, just a half sheet of 8.5 by 11. I have cut it at 5.5, 5.5 by 8.5, and you're going to fold it in half to do your standard size card base. So let's go ahead and do that now. And I told you guys in the last tutorial, you can very well score your cardstock in half. If that's easiest for you. If you do it that way, you're just gonna, score it at 4 1/4 and then fold it in half, and then you have your standard size A2 card. Okay, so I'm gonna put that to the side, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into our stamping. So with this card, this piece of Whisper White is 4 by 3 1/8. So 4 by 3 1/8, and we're just gonna stamp this cute little pineapple. And the stem, we're going to be using Bumblebee and Granny Apple Green ink. I'm going to start with the bottom first. I'm just going to ink it up. And because this is a photopolymer stamp set, you can opt to use your, like a stamping surface. I'll use my mat. I use it all the time, and I just wrap a piece so I don't have to get the ink on the on my stamping surface. It just makes for a cleaner impression when you're doing when you're stamping on a stamping surface. But that's up to you if you want to do it without the stamping surface. I mean, it's up to you. Okay, but I'll show you for this. I'll show you the impression. Okay, and I'm just going to go probably, I'm going to leave a little bit down at the bottom for my sentiment. My sentiment is smile. And just making sure we have enough from the top of the base for the crown. Okay, just stamp straight down and up. Again, that's the Bumblebee. And then we're going to do our top part in Granny Apple Green. And then I'm just going to make sure that's stamped on top, straight down and up. Okay, I'll clean that in just a bit. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiment in Magenta Black Ink. And I'm going to use this Smile in the stamp set. If you choose to add this to your order, the Cute Fruit stamp set, you can use your one in the melon. You can use any of these sentiments, and then you can change the fruit accordingly. All right, so I'm going to use the Smile, this little dude right here. This is the A block. I'm just going to mount this on the A block, and it's crooked, so I'm going to lift it up a little bit and straighten it out. And I'm just going to stamp this right down in the corner. And then there's several different faces in the stamp set, and for this one I used this stamp set. So let's choose a different one. How about this little guy right here with the mustache? Just so I can have something different. Okay, I want to use my A block again. I'll grab another one, and then I'll clean those. Let's straighten this out. Stamp. Get some ink, some Magenta Black Ink, and make him cute. All right. How's that? That's cute, right? All right, let's go ahead and clean. Oh my God. So this is my Stampin' chamois, and it's just so quick. We sell these in a catalog as well. CraftySweet.StampinUp.net. You will receive this make and take for free if you purchase anything in my online Stampin' store, $40 or more. You will receive the make and take for free. Now, you have to use this host code, so I'll know that you want this this make and take packet sent to you in the mail. So this is the host code is W7TGHUPR, and you also want to make sure you're you're ordering with me when you place your order in the Stampin' store using that host code. Once I see that you've ordered and your order is a minimum of $50 or more, then I will put your make and take in the mail for free. All right, and you don't have to order the stamp set and the things that I'm demonstrating here today. Anything in the Stampin' store that you want, just as long as your purchase is at least $40, using that host code, you'll get the make and take for free. Okay, now to adhere this piece on my card base, I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals. And I don't waste, so I'm going to use my corners, my edges all around. Put this little there. Let's cut this corner, because it still sticks, right? All right, I'm going to cut this corner and put it on this edge, so we want them popped up. And then I'll use this one, look right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to take all of the backing off of our Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay. All right. Smile. All right, and we're just going to make sure he's even all the way around. There we go, quick and easy. And that is card number 1. That's the first one I made. Card number 2. Okay, I'm going to sit those to the side. Next up, let's go ahead and do this card. How cute and fun is this? I didn't add a white piece on the inside of this card base, but you can, as I do in pretty much all of my cards, add the white so you can stamp or write whatever sentiment or message you want to add to the front. But for this card, we're just going to make another one just like this. I use this Designer Series paper, and this paper comes from our Designer Series paper pack. This is the Brights. No, not the Brights. This is the in color. This is Bumblebee. So this is actually in 2020-22 in color 6x6 Designer Series paper. And you have, let me show you. You guys, you got front and back. I chose for this one the stripes, but for this, the card that we're going to make today, I'm going to use the script, the words on the front. So I'll show you about that. Again, if you want to add this to your order, it is the 2020-2022 in color 6x6 Designer Series paper pack. And you get all 5 colors, and then you get 1, 2, 3, I think it's 6 designs per color. Okay? All right. So for this card, we are going to use Bumblebee as our card base, and you notice that this card base is longer than the last one. That's because I want this card to open, you know, top to bottom instead of side to side. So in order to get this card base, we're going to take a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and this time we're going to cut it at 4 1/4. All right, on an 8.5 inch side. All right, so this is 4 1/4 by 11, and then when you fold it in half, it's going to be 5 1/2. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I may send, if you get the make and take, I may go ahead and fold your card bases. If not, then you can fold the card bases when you get them. Okay, so that is our card base. I'm going to set that to the side, and I got some scrap to do my stamping, but I've already stamped my little pineapples and cut them out because I had to fussy cut. We don't have a die for this stamp set, so I had to cut the stamp the pineapples and then cut them out just to make it a little quicker for the video. All right, now let me give you the sizes for the Designer Series paper and cardstock we're using. So this strip of Designer Series paper is, because this is a 5 1/2, this is 5 1/4. So it's 5 1/4 by 1. Okay, and that's going to go on the side. And then for this piece, this is 5 1/4 by 3 1/8. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm not going to stamp that up on my card base. This is just going to go straight down on my card base. But I think I want to add my Designer Series paper first. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal. Of course, this is the adhesive that we now carry in the store. This is the regular Stampin' Seal, not the Stampin' Seal Plus. All right, and because these have words on it, you just want to make sure your words are going, you know, the right way so they're not upside down. All right, and we're just going to leave a nice little border on the side and at the top so it's even. Okay, now we're going to come in with our Whisper White piece, and we're going to adhere that down. I'm going to make sure that we have equal distance on each side and all around, so that it's going up a little bit, and we have about the same edge around. All right, how cute and simple is that? All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to add those cute pineapples. All right, and we're going to pop the pineapple up on dimensionals. Let's see. Can use some of these. Let's do one in the middle. Let's do this dude right here. Okay, I think that's going to be good. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and add our pineapples, and we're going to put those to the left and kind of up a little bit. kind of stagger them. So I'm gonna put this one like right about here, and then I'll come in and add another one. Let's put him like right here. Okay. Now for the sentiment for this card, I am using this strip is probably about 1/2 inch by 4 1/4. All right, and we're going to use the sentiment in the stamp set called I Couldn't Ask for a Sweeter Friend. Let me mount that on my block. Let's put this on my H block. And because this is a photopolymer, like you can see, I normally just lay it down on a straight line and then make sure my block is even, and then I just pick it up. All right, and we're gonna stamp that, excuse me, in Memento Black ink. And even if you get it, if it's crooked on your block, like you can see that it's crooked on my block, but I'm gonna make sure when I stamp down, it is gonna be straight, and it's gonna be level with the bottom part of my my Whisper White. And I'm gonna banner the end, so I'm gonna go over just a tad bit, just like that, then straight down and up. Okay, now if you, I'm going to use one of our punches that we have to banner the ends. This is the banner triple punch, or you can use this one. This is the classic label punch to banner your ends. If you don't have either one of these punches, that's okay. All you have to do is, and I think that's gonna be a little bit wider, so I'm gonna have to do my tag topper punch. You can cut in the middle and then flag both of your ends if you don't have this punch. But this punch works. It's a good punch to have, and it goes with several of our stamp sets. Okay, I'm gonna go in just a little bit more because I have too much white, and I'm just looking, eyeballing it in the center. Let's see, I'm gonna go a little bit more. Just eyeball it and make sure you're kind of even in there before you punch. Okay, I think that's pretty good. It's not gonna go past my card if I put it like right about there. Okay, so I think that is good. Clean up my mess. Okay, now because I put the pineapples on dimensionals, they're kind of raised. So when I put my sentiment on, if I don't put a dimensional on the back of this side to raise it up, it's gonna like, you don't want it like wonky like that. So I'm gonna add a dimensional on this side and just straight adhesive on the other side. Do I have any dimensionals? Let's see. All right, these are my mini dimensionals. We have mini dimensionals and regular, but I have a little piece of this little guy right here, so I'm gonna use that, and then I'm gonna do regular adhesive on this side. All right, I'm gonna take my backing off and adhere this to my card exactly where I want it, making sure it is level. So you see what I mean? When I add that dimension, it's just going to make everything just even across. And I probably should add a little one like right there. Let's cut that off. And we're going to slide that just so that can stick up on this side, just like that. Okay, now I am going to include our elegant faceted gems because you know, these are my favorite dimensionals from the catalog, like that I'm working with right now. These are the elegant faceted gems. So I'm going to use, I think I used clear. Let me use this one with some little sparkle this time. I'm going to put one here. And these will be included in your make and take pack. Not the whole pack, but just enough for you to make your card. Okay. And then one like right about there. Just to add a little something to the card to jazz it up a little bit. Okay, so this is the one we just made, and this is the one that I made before. All right, so that is card number 2. Now, let's jam out with card number 3. All right, so this is what you're going to get in your card kit. You're going to get your ribbon and your scraps that you need and your designer series paper. Again, this is a card base 4 1/4 by 11. And then you fold it in half, and then you're going to have your standard size card base top folding. All right, and we're going to make a background. Okay, so inside the stamp set you have 2 different size circles. You have this size and then a smaller size. For the card that I did, I used the smaller size, and I used this small image here. All right, so I'm going to get those mounted on my block. Let's take Smile off, mount that one. We're going to take the mustache dude off that one and mount that one. Okay, let me add these back. This stamp set is really, really cute. I really like it a lot. And I'm ready for fall, but I'm not ready for fall. So I'm using like bright colors. All right, let's see. I'm gonna use Granny Apple Green. And I'm gonna bring in a scrap piece of paper just so I don't get it on my surface, okay? And then I'm going to use the large circle in Granny Apple Green. So this is tone on tone. This is Granny Apple Green on Granny Apple Green cardstock. You can press down and just doing it in thirds. Triangle. Trying to get a triangle so they're not the same everywhere. Let's see. Let's do one here, 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 down here. Just fill it in so we're not having too many empty spots. Okay, how does that look? All right, so I think that's good. Let's go ahead and clean this off. And then let's close this up. We're gonna do the inside in Misty Moonlight. And I kind of over stamped right there, so let's go in with that Misty Moonlight and that blue right there. Cover that up. There are no mistakes in crafting, right? I'm just trying to make sure I can see, so my head is probably in the camera a little bit. All right, we're not going to put this in all of them. We're just going to randomly stamp some of the insides, okay? And it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to go all around. And remember, since we're going to have something covering up, we just want to make sure all of them are not in the area that we're going to have covered, okay? Let's stamp that one. Let's do this one. And probably this one. Let's see. This one, just so we can see something on the edge. That one. Just kind of make it fun. And I think that's going to be covered up. Let's see. Let's do that one. And then probably... No, I think that's good. That's pretty random. Okay, now let's clean that Misty Moonlight off. All right, those two are clean. Let me close up my ink pad. Now for the sentiment in this one, I did Memento Black, but I think I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Memento, in Misty Moonlight. Okay, so we have some surfaces, some white scrap for our stamping. All right, now let's go ahead, and these are my two pieces that are going to layer. This designer series paper is, let's see, this is 4 by 1 1/8, and then the designer series paper is 4 by 1, because we wanted the same length, but then we want some of that white to show on the top and the bottom. So let's go ahead and adhere those two pieces, and then we'll get into our stamping. Making sure to leave that border on the top and then the bottom. And these will already be cut for you, but the instructions will be on the tutorial that you receive. Okay, now let's jump into our stamping. All right, and we are done with the pineapple, so we're gonna bring out the melon. That one, and then we need the rind, of course. All right, and let's go ahead and mount those on our block. Okay, this is where our Magenta Madness comes into play. Our watermelon is going to be in Magenta Madness. Oh, something is on my ink pad. Okay. All right. And because this one is going to have that surface, I think I need to bring back my stamp pad, just so I can have make sure I have a good impression. All right. You know what? And then let's see, granite apple green for a rind. I think I'm going to stamp my rind first. Just so I can know where. And this, as I stated before, it doesn't have the, we don't have the dies for this, so you are going to have to fussy cut the watermelons out, but they are not hard at all. All right, that's in granite apple green, and now we're going to bring in the inside. We're going to put him right inside. Cute. So cute. So cute. I love it. All right. It's just something about the ink to paper, y'all. I swear. All right. So we're done with the Magenta Madness. Let's go ahead and clean these guys off. Let that dry a little bit, and I'm coming to mark up my seeds. Okay. Put those to the side. Now, I'm just taking my black Stampin' Right marker, and I am going to color the seeds inside of the watermelon. And then I'm going to fussy cut these two guys out. Okay. I'm going to take my scissors right here. Let's fussy cut these guys. Again, when you're fussy cutting, you're turning your paper and not your scissors, just to do. And then you want to leave a little border around in case you make a mistake. See how I'm doing? I'm just curving the paper around leaving just a little border. Okay, same thing for this one. When you cut too close and you don't leave a little border, you can see, you know, you can see the difference. So you see how I'm just curving it around and I'm just moving my paper as I go around. As I go around. You see, this is why I went ahead and fussy cut those the pineapples out. Can you imagine watching a video when you fussy cutting those pineapples? All right, so I cut those ahead of time, but it's not a big deal. I'm not really a fan of fussy cutting because I'm impatient. Okay, so put stamping surface. We have our watermelon stamped. We have this done. Now let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And I used You're One in a Melon. You're One in a Melon. So that is in our stamp set as well, and I think that is this one. All right. Oh, let's go ahead and put these guys back on the stamping sheet. Okay. Stamp. Put this one on the block, and I'm going to use. I used Magenta Black on the sample, but I'm going to use the Magenta Madness, because if you have it, you already have it, right? All right, let's do You're One in a Melon. Let's stamp that, and then I'm going to punch that out with, let's see, a 1-inch circle punch. I think it will be perfect for that. Yep, that's going to be perfect. So stamp that with your 1-inch circle punch, just kind of even all the way around, just like that. Close up the ink, and we are ready to assemble. Okay, that's the card base, and then we have our 2 strips already adhered together, and we're gonna go kind of like this. All right, this is straight down on the card base, so no stamping dimensionals needed. For this part, we're gonna put those on our, let's cut, I think I have a little strip hanging. Let's cut that off. Okay. All right, and this is gonna be to the left of the card, just making sure that it is even. Okay, adhere that down. Now we're gonna come in, and I need another sheet of dimensionals, because this is it. Put that in the trash. We got another sheet of dimensionals. On the back of this one. With the backing, I'm gonna add one more. I'm gonna add one more dimensional to that one. Okay, now let's see where we want our watermelons. Let's go. Oh, before we do that, guys, whoa, Nelly. Okay, you're gonna get some. You're gonna get a piece of Misty Moonlight ribbon in your packet. All right, and what I want to do is I want to add a glue dot, because I'm going to twist this, and I want it to stay, so I'm going to get a glue dot on that just so my ribbon can stay when I adhere it. I'm going to twist it just like this. It's staying on my finger. Well, part of it is. Some of it came off. Okay. All right. We're going to put that down just like that. And because that is ribbon, I am going to use I want that sticking out just a little bit. I use my Stampin' Seal Plus. Okay, so adhere your ribbon down before you put your add your watermelons. Okay, and I want that one kind of like that, and then I want this one kind of like that. Make sure. Hold on. I don't want the two dimensionals to yeah, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put your 1 in the middle and right there with the Stampin' dimensional on the back, like so. And then put it like right there. I think this is so cute. Your 1 in a melon. Okay. All right. So that is our card we made today, and then that is our sample. All right. So that's card number 3. All right. Now let's go ahead and put these guys back because we're done with the watermelon. Let's see. Did we clean? We didn't clean this one off. And clean this one. I couldn't ask for a better friend, a sweeter friend. Okay, now, all right, all good. Now, the last card. We're going to be working with these lemons, or it could be a lime, right? Lemon or lime. Okay. Now, let's see. We're going to do our 3D project now. Let's put our blocks to the side. And for our 3D project, we're using the Celebrate Labels dies. Okay, so we're going to use some, we're going to be die cutting a little bit today. All right. These are the dies, and it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different labels. We are using the larger one. Let's see, or should we use a smaller one? Yeah, let's use the next to the largest. I use the largest on this one, but we're going to switch it up a little bit. Okay? And yeah, for the base. All right, so let me bring my Big Shot out. My cut and emboss machine is on its way. All right, but for now, we're going to use our old Stampin' Up Big Shot. Okay? And we're going to use just a half a sheet of Granite Apple Green. Put it on our, put the die on our Granite Apple Green cardstock. Put our plate on the front, and we're just going to run it through really quick. If you don't have an embossing machine, then I recommend the cut and emboss machine. I can't wait to get mine. It's supposed to, I mean, this is easy to roll, but the other one, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, our new machine, is supposed to be really, really smooth and a lot easier. Okay, let's go ahead and put this die up, and we're going to do some scoring on this label to make our little pouch. So I'm going to bring out my, you can use your scoring tool. Excuse me, that is Toby barking. And what we're going to do is, I want to do a score line. I want to do a score line probably about 1/4 of an inch from this little divot, and you can see. So I'm going to line this up with the 2.5. See, the 2.5. I got the line, the little tip. Be sure to use your scoring part and not your blade. All right, and then we're going to turn this around, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. And it was 2.5. Yeah, just to give us a little pocket. And you can probably even go a little bit wider. Okay. Yeah, I think I did. I think I went wider. Hold on. Let's do 2. let's see. Yeah, let's do 2 and 2 1/4. That's going to give me a little bit more room. 2 1/4. All right. Yeah, 2 1/4 on each side. I think it's a little bit better. It's going to give you a lot more. It's going to give you a little bit of a bigger pocket. Okay, and that is all you need. Okay, so I'm going to score on both of my score lines. So here and here. Okay, so now we have that little divot. It's kind of like in the middle. All right, so this is going to be our little pouch. All right, and what I got when I saw these in the store, we're military, so I saw these at the PX. These are Kit Kats, but it's the citrus mint Kit Kats. So that's what I put in this little pouch. All right, I think that goes pretty well with this stamp set. And I did the shorter one so it wouldn't be as wide, so I wouldn't have this this room off on the side. Okay. All right, so before we do that, let's go ahead and this will already be die cut for you. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna layer this on top like this. All right, but you see how it's long? I need to cut a little bit of the bottom off. So I'm gonna bring my mini trimmer in, and I'm gonna cut a little bit off the bottom, probably that much. I think that'll probably work good. Right. You just cut it to where it fits down at the bottom like that. All right, I think that's perfect. So we took probably about 3/4 of an inch off. All right. So when you get yours, you just measure it to where you think that's where you want yours to be. Okay. Again, this is that same designer series paper, a different pattern. This came out of the In Color 2020-2022 designer series paper pack. All right, and we're just going to put this down, lining that up with the bottom of the treat pouch like that. Okay, now you will receive a scrap for your sentiment, and for this sentiment we used wishing you a slice of happiness. So let's go ahead and bring that out. That is this one. We pretty much use all of the stamp sets in this stamp set, and I love that because you have a sample for everything now. Okay, now, and I'm going to bring in my Magenta Black ink. Let me bring out my chamois. I love my chamois to clean off my blocks. It's just really, really quick. All right, now let's stamp our sentiment onto this. You're going to be very careful because it's a narrow piece. All right, wishing you a slice of happiness. All right, same thing. I'm going to banner these ends, and I left a little bit of area off to the left because this is where I'm going to be mounting my lemons that I'm going to stamp in just a second. Okay, so let's bring back in that punch to banner our ends a little bit. Just like that. I think that's perfect. All right, now you're gonna receive some paper for your stamping. Let's go ahead. Let's see. I think I have this. Let's do our lemons on here. We're gonna use Granny Apple Green and Bumblebee for our lemons. Bumblebee and Granny Apple Green. Okay, and we're going to do the outside and Granny Apple Green. I'm going to do 3 lemons. 2, 3. Okay, and then for the inside, we're using Bumblebee. Make sure I get up here. Bumblebee, so cute. Don't move, Bumblebee. Okay, now let's close this up. close up our Granny Apple Green. Don't want to cover up that host code. Y'all go ahead and write down that host code. Make sure you're using that host code if you want this make and take for free. $40 minimum purchase. And this one, to cut these out, I didn't want a fussy cut, so I'm using a 3/4 punch, circle punch to cut this out if you have one in your stash. I had one in my stash, so that's what I'm using, so I don't have to fussy cut. Okay, now let's layer these babies up, and then, but before we do that, let's go ahead and adhere our sentiment down, because I'm getting ready to show you guys something, and I hope it's a little, come on, oh, there it goes, that we can, I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends. My Stampin' Blends to, let's make sure this is straight first. I'm using a Stampin', wait a minute, no. Before I do that, I got to do my ribbon. Let me show y'all this idea. Okay, so this is our Whisper White ribbon. What is it called? It is called the Crinkled Seam Binding Ribbon. And because we didn't have that in this ribbon in Granny Apple Green, we don't have any ribbon in Granny Apple Green, but that is okay, because check this out. All right, this is a white ribbon. I want Granny Apple Green ribbon, so I'm going to use my Stampin' Blend. Our Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based markers, so when you run it across your ribbon, you have whatever color ribbon you want. And because it's alcohol-based marker, it is going to dry super fast. All right, so you will receive a piece of this white ribbon, so you can color it with the Stampin' Blends that hopefully you'll put in your cart. These the Stampin' Blends, they don't come in singles, so when you order, you will get both. You'll get the whatever color you choose in the dark and the light. In this Stampin' Blend, I'm using the dark Granny Apple Green, and it comes, you know, you'll get both the light and the dark. All right, is that enough ribbon? Let's do just a tad bit more, just so we can make sure we have enough to wrap around our treat pouch. Okay, where are my snips? Let's go snip this off. All right, and we're going to wrap this around our treat pouch before we add that sentiment on, because we're gonna actually be hiding that ribbon on this side. Okay, so let's go ahead and tie our ribbon off to the side a little bit. All right, wrap around there. It might be easier to just go ahead and wrap it around, you know, put the candy in there and then wrap it, but whichever you prefer. And then you can also lay it flat, and then just don't tie it as tight, so it'll give you some room to put your to put whatever you decide to put in your pouch. But this ribbon is going to help you hold whatever you're putting in there together. Okay, and another thing I want to add, when you use the Stampin' Blend on the marker, the Stampin' Blends, not on the marker, on the ribbon, it's going to stiffen it up a little bit, so it is like even easier to work with, because this crinkle is so soft. All right, so now let's go ahead and make sure this is covering and we have enough room. Let's pull this. All right, that worked perfect. And then we're going to slide this over just a tad, because we want the bow on this side. Put that little tail, making sure it's all the way over to the side. And you can always add a Stampin' dimensional, but let's go ahead and do this now. We're probably gonna have to smooth the ribbon over a little bit more because you need room for your sentiment and of course your lemons. We're gonna go in a little bit more with this, just so much won't be hanging off. Okay, now we can go ahead and put our sentiment down. I do want to add a glue dot behind that ribbon so it's not going to shift anymore. So these are glue dots. I'm going to put, let's see, make sure you guys can see me okay. Put a glue dot right there. Okay, now let's go ahead and put our sentiment. We put our adhesive down on our sentiment already. Just making sure that it is level with the bottom. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna go ahead and let me get my good scissors because we're gonna snip off some of the tails of our ribbon. Just like that. Okay, and then now we're going to add those cute little lemons using dimensionals, not the tiny ones. Where are my other ones? This is the regular size, and I'm going to put just one on each one of our lemons. 2 and 3. And none of this that I'm doing is too complicated that you can't duplicate. All right, you're gonna have everything in your kit to duplicate this. Take your backings off. Take your backings off your Stampin' dimensionals before you try to adhere them. Okay, and so I'm gonna put one there, and then I'm gonna put one. I'm gonna tuck him right back there. Okay, now you can add whatever you want to the inside of your pouch. Again, I have these 2 little Kit Kats that can go in your pouch just like that. Okay, let's see, what else do I have? I have a box of they are open because I've been eating lemon heads. Let's see, those little lemon heads can fit in there just like that, because, or you can lay them to the side. Let's lay them to the side. They also have like the grape lemon heads too, so you can add those, you know, those grape lemon heads, so that fits in there perfectly. I also have, let me show you, I have Laffy Taffy, and these are the banana Laffy Taffy. So you check out that banana that we have in that cute fruit stamp set. So look at that banana. So instead of doing the lemons or the limes, you can put you some Laffy Taffies in here and instead use this banana and put that banana on there. How cute would that be? So whatever you have, any of these fruits, you can put anything in this little pouch and it will work. All right, I'm gonna put that Laffy Taffy to the side because that's one of my favorites. Also my mom's favorite, one of her favorites. Okay, so let's see, let's go ahead and stack this back up. So that's what we added in that one. I'm gonna put this to the side, that to the side. Okay, and we're gonna bring back all of our projects that we made today using the cute fruit stamp set. And again, you will receive everything you need to make all 3 projects. And of course, you'll get your the PDF tutorial, when you make sure you put that you want me to contact you, because that contact, when you put in your email, I can email you the PDF, so you won't have to come back and watch this video. If you don't want to, you can have the PDF with all of the measurements for all of the projects that we made today. So just make sure when you're shopping with me, don't check out as a guest. Actually go in and establish your account, and then make sure you're checking that you want to be contacted by this demonstrator. That way, that'll let me know that you want this PDF, and make sure your address is on there, because that's where your make and take project will go. Again, if you spend a minimum of $40 in my store at craftysuite.stampinup.net, I'll have it in the description below. Any purchase, a minimum of $40, you'll get this make and take project for free from me. Okay? If you guys have any questions, just make sure you leave them either in the comments below so I can respond to them. And I appreciate you guys joining me today. Thank you so much. Goodbye.